This couscous is meant for guests because it's sweet and savory. The everyday Moroccan food is mostly savory, but then whenever you have guests, you try to give them something special. And sugar was expensive, and so giving them something sweet and savory is part of being a great host. However, the guests are also supposed to bring you sugar because of the same reasons. It's expensive, it's the thing to bring, and so at the end of the day, you give them sugar, they give you sugar back, everybody's high on sugar, lots of happiness, and a dash of diabetes.
On medium heat, drizzle a generous amount of olive oil. Sear the lamb for a couple of minutes on each side. Here I'm using 1 kilo or roughly 2 pounds of lamb from the leg. Shoulder will also work. To avoid using commercial stocks, I cook with actual bones. Most butchers will be very happy to give them away. Just remember to remove them later, unless you have a good dental insurance. Lower the heat to medium-low, then add 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of coriander, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Add 1 pinch of saffron, and 1 big red onion chopped into small cubes. (650 ml) or 2.75 cups of hot water. Turn down the heat to low. Cover and cook for an hour and a half. Try not to open the lid because we want to preserve all the sauce. Some of it will go into the caramelized onions and the other we will eat with the couscous. Once your meat is ready, it should fall apart with just a touch of a fork. On high heat, coat the bottom of your pot with olive oil. Wait until the oil gets hot and then add 1.2 kilograms or roughly 2.5 pounds of sliced white onions. It might seem like a lot of onions, but let's just say onions are like Scandinavians, big, beautiful, but just can't handle the heat. Add 1 teaspoon of salt, drizzle some olive oil from the top, cover and let it cook for 5 minutes. Now lower the heat to medium, keep them covered, but check on them every 5 minutes and move them around so that the bottom doesn't burn. On the side, prepare 170 grams or 6 ounces of raisins by soaking them in hot water for at least 15 minutes. Once the onions are soft, add 100 ml or roughly half a cup of sauce from the lamb. Mix it all, and from now on we will cook them without a lid. Now add your raisins, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 3 tablespoons of honey, mix again, and keep reducing until the onions thickens. Obviously, you will have to keep stirring them every few minutes. Caramelized onions are delicious, but they need a lot of TLC. Once the onions are very thick, you're done. Fill up 3/4 of a steam pot with cold water, add 2/4 of a lemon to give the steam a nice aroma, and then turn up the heat to medium-high. When it comes to couscous, there are 2 famous Moroccan brands. This is Dari, the other one is called Tria, T-R-I-A. I'm using 400 grams or 14 ounces of couscous, but for the amount of meat and onions we made, you can double that. It's just easier to demonstrate with a small batch. Start preparing your couscous by adding 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and 78 ml or 1/3 of a cup of hot water. Run the couscous through your hands and make sure that the oil and water coats all the couscous grains. And then break up any lumps. Add a teaspoon of salt and mix again. Transfer it to the top part of the steaming pot. And let it steam for 20 to 25 minutes. Once in a while, you might need to adjust the pot just to prevent the steam from escaping. You want most of the steam to go through your couscous. After every round of steaming, you'll have to run it through your hands, break up the lumps, Couscous is hot, but that's what it feels like to be a Moroccan grandmother making couscous for her family, you know? Think about something else. Just forget about the pain. For this round, add a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of vegetable oil, and a third of a cup of hot water. Run it again between your hands and separate the grains. Transfer it again to the pot and back again for another 20 to 25 minutes of steaming. This time, instead of using oil, we're gonna use ghee. And if you don't have ghee, you can just use butter. And before adding any salt this time, try the couscous first. Mine needed another teaspoon of salt. Yours might not, depends on your taste, might need less or more. Give it another run between your hands. Load it into the pot, steam it for another 20 minutes. Before you serve it, of course, you're gonna have to break up any lumps and run it once more again between your hands. Make sure that the couscous is fluffy, it's separated. Build your own Moroccan couscous volcano and set the lamp right in the crater. Add some sauce, then the onions. Finish with toasted almonds. And some sauce on the sides. And enjoy.
That was it for me today. Thank you for watching. Do make this at home, and if you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section. I'll leave you all the ingredients right below this video, and I'll see you next time. Take care.